Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. If you want to build a company with an army of ambassadors and raving fans who speak highly of you and refer you willingly, you are in the right place. And now, here is your host, Michael J. Maher.
All right, how many graphic designers do I have in here? Anybody a graphic designer? Anybody here a computer programmer? Anybody here a programmer? Anybody here a data analyst? Any data analyst in here? So, first of all, congratulations, your job has not been replaced by AI. So, I don't know if you're seeing it, but I definitely want to show you what I've seen with artificial intelligence and these apps that really we shouldn't call them artificial intelligence. They really aren't AI. They're more AE, right? They're more answer engines than they are artificially intelligent. They're not sentient. They're not thinking. They're not actually getting smarter. They aren't. You know what they've gotten smarter at is getting you to stay on their forum, on their spot, right? It's about attention and eyeballs. And by now, you either call your best friend Chad or you call your best friend Claude. And you should probably call your spouse more often. I'm just saying. So it's one of those where, while you're out learning AI, somebody else listed your mom's house. You know what I mean? Here's my thought. Like I said, I'm not anti-AI. I believe that it has usefulness. If you are a graphic designer, you're probably going to be out of business. The graphics are great. You can drop your own graphics in. You're going to be out of a job. If you are doing anything on a computer that just is data analysis or you're moving if you're using Excel on a regular basis, then you're probably going to be out of a job in the next year or two. If you are anything to do with filmmaking, I believe that is going to be a job that is taken out. I believe anything that you can do with a computer, app developer, programmer, but if your job requires any people skills whatsoever, any at all, then you are going to be gainfully employed for the long term. And here's what, and I'm preaching the choir. I look around this room and I see people who are doing events. I see people who are doing networking. I see people who are interacting with people. They're time blocking in the influential zone, thanks to Carla and Neil, right? I see producers here. So, but I feel like this video is going to be played over and over again for a lot of people because I was that guy who is saying HI is greater than AI, and HI is human interaction. And here's what's beautiful is that while all these people are looking for a digital solution to a human problem, man, I hope AI gets me leads. I wonder if AI will refer me. I wonder if I'm going to go and learn how AI will refer me. And here's what's funny. Nobody's going to AI to get a real estate agent. Nobody. They do go to AI sometimes to look for houses. They do go to AI to get questions about different things around their home. But the thing is most of them are using it for medical or legal right now. And do I think attorneys are going to be out of a business? I think that, guess what? I think the attorney is going to have to learn how to adjust to AI. I think that the medical profession is going to have to adjust to AI. I think the real estate profession is going to have to adjust to AI. We need to tell people, like, you're typing things into AI that I've already considered. I believe in the AI addendum. If you were at the Power 100 event that I did in Atlanta, we had a long discussion on having an AI addendum to your exclusive buyer agreements and your exclusive right to sales. And it just needs to say something like, hey, listen, AI is a tool. You're welcome to use it. Anything that you bring up, we'll have a discussion about it. But I want you to know that I use it too, and I've probably used it before you used it. So, we can make this happen, right? Exactly. Lynn, here's the thing. You've got to conquer that in the buyer's consultation, right? You got to let them know that, hey, I'm using AI, you're using AI, but I just want you to know, like, I'm using AI at 10%. Like, don't let it be your 90%. What's interesting is that while people are looking for a digital solution to a human problem, the ones who are doing human things are not just winning, they're actually winning exponentially and geometrically. Like the people that are doing some of these things are the ones that are getting out to the people are not just having success, they're actually outpacing the market and they're outpacing their offices. We have so many number one agents now in Gen that it's insane. Like it's beautifully insane, but it is one of like but and they're all like, I mean, did you hear the Christine Pandolf interview? She's just like so humble and so incredulous that she's the top agent in this Lake Norman is a freaking upscale and guess what? There's people living there 100 years, and she's been there 6 years and is now the top agent because of a little bit of an event plan and a lot of great real estate. But people, it's about people skills. Christine is fantastic with people. So I want today to be a reminder about, I mean, ranting about AI at this point is almost like ranting about Google. Like, how many people do you know are ranting about Google? They're like, oh, you shouldn't use Google or you should put Google on your its play. No, nobody talks about Google anymore, right? It's going to be the same way with AI in 6 months. Nobody's going to be talking about it except the graphic designers, the programmers, the app designers, the ones who are getting replaced by it. But as far as real estate agents, lenders, that kind of thing, as long as there's a human component to it, we're going to be needed. We're going to be necessary. We aren't there to manage a transaction. We're there to manage emotions. We're there to manage people. We don't manage transactions. We don't. We manage people, feelings, emotions. We try to keep them off of emotional island as much as we can. Guess who stays on logical island the whole time? It's us, right? The old logical island, emotional island conversation. We are paid to stay on Logical Island and to keep our clients on Logical Island. We are a lighthouse on Logical Island. We do not move. We do not run around the beach screaming, use me, or don't do that, or you're the greatest, or, I'm not available, or I am available, or please call me at any time, including 1 a.m., right? And when they go to Emotional Island, we just reel them in and bring them back to Logical Island. And we try to keep them on Logical Island as much as we can because, and we do it proactively. We do it in the buyer's consultation. Like anything that you've ever had a problem with, you need to fill the cup of the buyer's consultation. You have a problem with them buying a car during transaction, you warn them in the buyer's consultation. You have somebody that's thinking about changing jobs or quitting or retiring, put it in the buyer's consultation. You have somebody that wants to use AI, put it in the buyer's consultation. You want them to not have buyer's remorse after the inspection, put it in your buyer's consultation. We need to understand how it all fits. Like we're all trying to figure out, how does AI fit into my schedule? How does AI fit into my business? And I think it should be a minimal. I think it should. I mean, here's the best. The ones who are soaring, it's 0%. It's 0%. You know what they're doing? They're saying, who knows AI? And they're just hiring that person or they're talking to that person. The who is not you to be the AI expert. The who is not you, right? And some of you were just hoping this was going to be your out from real estate. You were going to go around the country training on AI and you were going to be the AI expert and you're going to do 42 presentations this year. And like finally, like you're going to be the AI expert and everybody's going to love you and they're going to follow you. And this is your ticket out of real estate. And guess what? You should probably stay in real estate. You should probably do real estate. And you know what my biggest regret is? My biggest regret is that I didn't start a real estate team in Atlanta and continue to do real estate, right? I mean, now I've been super, super busy with speaking, training, flying, writing, and everything else. But like real estate's where it's at. Like selling homes and doing mortgages is the most awesome business in the world. There might be more awesome businesses in the world that are illegal, but I think it's the best legal thing that you can do to earn money. Is there any other industry in the world where you can make a call or get a call today and get paid $10,000 in 60 to 90 days that is legal? Comments, ahas, suggestions, questions, anything on HI is greater than AI. Any like thoughts on that? Anything that you're seeing out there?
I'll go. Um, I mean, I think that I already see like people are getting sick of AI stuff. They don't want to see the videos. They don't want to. I have a friend who made a comment today about using AI photos. I think personal interaction is still top, 100%. People want to be with people.
People want people. We
Yep.
do. We want human interaction, right? And you need to make sure your business model is focused around human interaction. I mean, it just is. And people say, well, conversations. And then they go, well, it's about phone calls. And what I've told everybody in this community for years, it can't just be phone calls. It's got to be a multimedia approach from different avenues and different directions. It can't just be a phone call a quarter. It's not going to cut it. It's not. You're still going to get two or three referrals a quarter. You're going to get them happenstance. You're getting them unpredictable. What if we could create predictable referrals? If you're referable, we can create predictable referrals. Even if you're not referable, we can create predictable referrals. So and I think the other thing, Lynn, I don't know if you saw it, but there were several universities where the keynote speaker got booed. I've never heard of a keynote speaker being booed ever. I mean, I haven't even gotten booed, and I sucked for a lot of years. I was a horrible speaker and they didn't even boo me. And but they were in the in the graduates were literally booing the speaker because it's being shoved down their throats about this AI thing. And like some of them just got jobs in the arts or sciences, and they're being told that their job is going to be replaced by AI, right? And it's like there is an AI backlash. You hit it on the head. Where we see it, here's where I first saw it was Facebook when people started using AI for their posts, and the comments were not kind. They were not nice. People do not want you to replace your authenticity, your voice, your originality with a chewed up version of a computer thing. But here's what's interesting. People say, I don't write good. Well, you're right. If you're saying you don't write good, you don't. But others are saying, I don't write well. So I want to sound smart. And it's like, I want you to know you don't sound smart by using freaking AI. You sound stupid. Like you sound unconfident. If you just wrote, like, I don't write good, and I want you to know that here's my thoughts on this, it actually means more than when you use the AI because it's real, it's authentic, it's genuine. Like, you know how many people can relate to I don't write well? Everybody. People say that with handwritten notes. My penmanship is not good. And it's like, and by the way, I get handwritten notes from Dave DeBryan. Dave DeBryan writes over 1,500 notes every year in November. His handwriting is not great. But you know what? When you read a note from somebody where the handwriting isn't perfect, it's pretty special. It's pretty dang special, you know? It's like, man, you know what? You can just tell somebody really worked hard to write this document. Real wins, everybody. Write that in your notes for your jam sessions, right? Real wins. Real wins every time. Every time. And don't BS stories. We're starting to see some of these BS stories on Facebook posts and Instagram, and it's like, man, don't lie. Like people are going to catch. There's a guy named Ty, T-A-I. He just made up a BS story, and people just absolutely waylaid on him. Now he's also kind of a lightning rod person, but it's one of those where it's like, man, you don't need to BS. Real life is cool enough. Like, what is it they say is truth is stranger than fiction? Like, let your life, like, write the story. Anybody have anything crazy happen to them recently?
I got
So,
chased
like
out of a crawl
yesterday.
space
Yeah, go
by
ahead, Matthew. Matthew,
I
go
got
ahead.
chased out of a crawl space by a possum.
Yeah.
By a possum?
Yes, sir.
Are possums scary?
No, they're just feral.
So, which would win in a fight? I mean, this is important questions we cover here on the Jam. Which would win in a fight, a possum or a raccoon?
Probably a raccoon.
Okay, which would win in a fight, a wolverine or a raccoon?
Wolverine.
Which would win in a fight against anything in the world, a wolverine or anything else?
Honey badger.
Wolverines are just badass, aren't they?
Honey badger.
Well, isn't a honey badger actually related to the wolverine? Aren't they like brothers?
Or something.
They're something. They're both rodents. Really rodents. That's what they are. So, love it. Oh, I gave away a couple referrals yesterday. That was pretty cool, right? Not very unusual, but it was pretty cool. Even had an issue, right? I referred it out and ended up not being a good fit. So thank God in Gen we have what? We have a backup, right? We had somebody else that was a better fit for the client. And we went to number two, and now that client and the realtor who is referring it is happy, right? You guys know Don and Crystal McNaughton, right? So so I think the big thing here is that we need to focus on I mean, dude, like how old is that statement? That we need to focus on relationships. And people say all the time, like we got to go back to basics. Back to basics. But nobody's doing the basics, or very few people are doing what I mean, how many of you have implemented all of a 7L? Anybody here implemented all of 7L? Right?
Nope.
How many of you have read 7L? Anybody here read 7L? Right? So what's your favorite strategy from 7L? Tommy, what's your favorite strategy from 7L? I'm going to come around to a few of you.
It's Power Notes. Definitely Power.
Power Notes. What do you love about Power Notes?
I love that it's can be done at any time that you want. And I love that it creates like an energetic loop with people that is just powerful for it seems like
Yeah.
maybe that's why it's called a power note. But yeah, it's I love the loop it creates and the effect that it creates and the fact I can do it literally anytime I want. So it doesn't matter if it's 6 a.m. or 10 o'clock at night, I can write a power note.
Yeah. So a Power Note is called a Power Note. It's actually an acronym. Like power is an acronym, right?
Oh, I didn't know
So
that. Oh, I'm curious now.
yeah, it's proactive, it's optimistic, it's written, it's effective, and it's real. How fast did you type that, dude?
And he's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That I have never heard you even say that power is an acronym in Power Note since I read the
Really?
book in July. I've never,
Hmm.
never.
Have
That's
you ever
awesome.
heard me say that systems are crap?
Yes, I've heard that one.
Okay. Yeah. Two acronyms for the price of one in there. So, all right. So I love Power Notes. I like handwritten notes. I love Power Notes because of the marketing aspect of the Power Note, right? That's why they're effective. So, Matthew Peasley, what's your favorite strategy from 7L? Don Mucky, you're next, and then Rob Howard.
Um, being your authentic self.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that that's what I love about Michelle and Rick in the book is that Rick thinks he's got to be different. He's got to be like Don to be a top producer in his office. And he finds out he doesn't. He can just be a better version of himself or the more valid version of himself, and it attracts business. I love the story of him with the receptionist, right? The receptionist knows 300 agents in the office, but gives him the referral. Why? He's actually talking to her about track. He's talking to her about like life. And he actually gets to know the receptionist. And I want you guys to know something. That's based on a real story at my Remax office. And in the Remax office, like there were agents in the office that literally blew off the receptionist or treated them like a subhuman. And I always like loved on them. Like I always like was friendly and and that kind. And then and here's what's funny. She was actually related to the owner of the Remax office who were two producing agents. And she gave me the referral. Like, drop the mic. Like, I mean, that's almost a fireable offense. Now, I never said anything to the owners, the owners who were a married couple. But she referred me. Why? Because I sent her flowers for helping me out with things. Here's the other thing too. We do our buyers consultations in the office, and we did seller consultations in the office. Well, the receptionist, she had to do more for me than any other agent in the office because she had to give them the drink menu and she had to say please fill this out completely when it came to the VIP form. And she did it without a question or anything like that because she loved to serve people well. And she would do more because I had a better relationship with her. And it's like it was reciprocal. I appreciated what she did. She did stuff. I appreciated what she did, and it was a great relationship. Um, so I think being your authentic true self is also kind of getting over ourself and being our truest unselfish self versus our ego self and really stepping into love, generosity, and appreciation. So, Don, you were next.
I would say the first and 10 calls.
Mm,
With that, it sets the tone for the day. And I also kind of feel like you're knocking off the toughest thing on your list right off the bat. And
it,
everything from there is downhill and it's a little bit easier. Now I still struggle with implementation on a regular basis, but it's a goal, right?
yeah. Yeah, I love that. And the first and 10 and the hour of power. I always liked the hour of power more because it was a surprise, right? It's a proactive call. And they're like, oh, well, that's cool. Sometimes the first and 10 are some reactive calls, right? I mean, it's like, I got to make this call to the title company. I've got to make this call to this client or this agent or whatever it is. And so I always felt like I had to do some of them versus the hour of power. I almost always was surprising people. As the Great Retrace became more powerful, which happened probably my second and third year in the business, all of a sudden my first and tens were all Great Retraces. And now I love the Great Retrace and I love the hour of power. My first 2 hours of the day, I was on fire. I was on fire and no distractions, no, whatever. And I would have 10 to 20, 10 to 15 conversations in a couple of hours. And they were all like awesome. Like I was making people feel awesome. So anyway, I heard wow 7 or 8 times every morning. How many calls would you make if you heard wow? Like you were wowing people all morning, right? I mean, wow, right? So Joey Calvin has created a solution, Don, that you might like for the first and 10. So he has implemented. Joey, you want to talk about the send later that you're doing?
Sure. I think you call it the CP30, but I don't even know what that stands for. Uh, but uh, pretty much every day, and it kind of changes every day whenever I get a minute. I'll go in my phone and hit text later, and you can do it up to 2 weeks 2 weeks ahead of time. And you pick your time when you know that you have an open slot in the next day. I try to focus on 9 a.m. every morning, and I try to focus on having at least 20 uh, calls or texts going out. I'll stalk them on social media to kind of see what they've been up to, and I'll just send a simple text that just says, "Hey, do you have a minute for a quick phone call?" And then most of the time they call me immediately. Sometimes they'll tell me not quite yet, but give me an hour or some of that sort. But either way, you're not interrupting anybody with a call. They're responding and they're letting you know when they have a moment, and that way they're more present on the call whenever you get together. So
I'm telling you, send later is one of the greatest iPhone inventions in the history of technology. So, like at 9 o'clock, or you're doing your pre-leave ritual at 5 o'clock or 5:45. You go in, you go to send later, and you literally, hey, do you have a couple minutes? Right? That's and you copy it, and then you're like, all right, who are my first and 10 tomorrow? You just set that text up 10 people and you put it in send later for 9 a.m. the next day. And instead of you calling them, they're texting you back or they're calling you back. And that's, I mean, what is the more powerful position? You calling them or them calling you? So them calling you is a really powerful position to be in, which, is derived from the C3PO strategy. And but I'm telling you, like that's a winner. Now I have a weird schedule. Like a first and 10 doesn't fit necessarily with my schedule as much. But if I were in real estate doing real, I would do send later, send 10 during my pre-leave ritual, and then all 10 of those would hit at 9 a.m. the next day. And then I'm going to have 5 or 6 conversations from there, or they're going to say, call me after 5 or call me at noon or whatever it is. And then I know I'm calling them at the right time. How do I know that? No more call reluctance. No more call reluctance because they're asking me to call them or they're calling me. So let's conquer call reluctance forever, and that's one way to do it. I love the send later. I use send later with my wife and kid like all the time, all the time. Right? I have a popcorn thought at 11 p.m. or I have a popcorn thought at 6 a.m. Right? Instead of like killing them with it, it's like I put a send later and send it at 9:12 a.m. or whatever it may be. So I'm a fan of the send later. Joey, did you have something to add to the favorite strategy of 7L or somebody said? Did we just lose him?
yeah, well,
Yeah.
the send later was one of them, but also the networking stack is probably my ultimate favorite. And now that I don't have an office, I'm pretty much networking stacked throughout the week at random places.
Not random.
Well, random for everyone else, not random for me.
Yeah, it's home court advantage for
Yeah,
you, right? Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, they don't know that it's pre-planned, but it is.
Have you cycled it through yet to where you're at one restaurant Mondays, this restaurant Tuesdays, this restaurant Wednesdays, this restaurant Thursdays,
Mhm.
or anything like that?
Yes. Yeah, Monday
Yeah,
through Thursday,
yeah,
same play each day. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Love it. Love it. And your business is probably blossoming and growing because of it.
Yeah. Right now, July is going to be the best month I've ever had. I've got 6 under contract closing in July.
That's awesome. What are you going to make in July? By the end of July, how much are you going to make?
It's going to be very close to 50.
50,000 in 1 month?
Yep.
That should be
Rock
illegal.
on, Joey.
That should be illegal.
Yep.
Joey,
So
no referral fee needed. You don't have to pay me anything of that. 99 bucks
yeah,
a month. Stay in our
yeah.
lane.
I'll buy your dinner in San Antonio.
There you go. There you go. I like it. You guys heard that, right? I mean, I got to take what I get. I'm telling you. So, Rob, what's your favorite strategy from 7L?
Oh, you number one, thank you for all these strategies because this is just, I mean, it's changed me from being a little bit slow and negative and considering retirement to re-energized. And I really, really
And
appreciate
you just had your best month ever, right?
one of them. Yeah, I
Yeah.
constantly, I mean, it's just what I'm still, yeah. It this last week I actually had a couple of closing shift and they were supposed to close when I got back from my little vacation trip. And while I was on the plane, two of them ended up closing. So that was a surprise gift. Whenever I landed, I had more money than when usually that didn't happen at an airport.
Yeah. There's
But
something, I mean, that reminds me of the Christine Pandolf story about her event that she didn't even attend and she got 18 referrals at her event, right? It's like that's a pretty good equation. Like that's something to replicate. Um,
but
so what's your
so
favorite strategy? You never did say it.
yeah, so some of my favorites, I've got a few. Number one, whenever you said to write rightly,
Mhm.
I've always had kind of boy handwriting, scratchy and whatever. And I got addicted to fountain pens, and I have bought fountain pens, and I write much more correctly, and I put more thought into it, and I care about it, and I write rightly. And
Yeah,
I mean, and it changed the way that I think about what I'm writing. So
it does, doesn't it?
I
I mean,
appreciate.
it definitely changed for me. It made me more optimistic and positive to write that way. And it made me think I was more successful. Like
Right.
it's just a interesting dynamic to it. What was
And
another strategy?
also the doing good to do well, um,
Hmm.
adding that component of the charity, which number one makes me really want to do this rather than I'm doing this and it's an effort and yeah I may get some more money out of it. I'm I hate to say it, I'm not money driven, in a lot
Yeah.
of ways.
I
Um,
don't know why you hate to say that, right?
well, whatever. But
Yeah.
the charity that I have for this upcoming event is a foster home. And
Hmm.
when I've grown up with a father who was an orphan who his he was taken away from his mother and lived in an orphanage for many years, and he came out of there thinking that he was the lowest of the low, worthless, child.
Jeez.
He Yeah, he went in at like 5 years old and came out at 14. So
Jeez.
institutionalized.
9 years in a foster home?
Yeah. Well, no, in an orphanage, like a big institutional, basically a baby prison. And I mean,
Yowzers.
it's sad to say, but
Rob, you got to write a story.
well,
Like, have you incorporated that into any of your stories?
no,
Like, I mean, I mean, I can hear it in your voice, the passion and the energy. So, I mean, there's something there, you
well,
know?
yes, but also my charity is called the Isaiah 117 house. Sorry. And it's basically it gives dignity to the kids. It's like a
Mm.
house and they give them all this stuff and they take care of a child who's just been ripped away from his what he knows and takes care of him. And all of a sudden I'm energized to, you know, number one, boost the knowledge about this place. Number two, it encourage my friends and friends of friends to know about it and to support it. So
Love
yeah,
it.
the doing good to do well is a really good motivator for me, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. And I probably told the story 3 or 4 times, but, I'm not a great person. Like, I am a great person now, maybe. But, like, I didn't start out that way. I started out doing this charity stuff to get referrals. I really did. Like, I used it to, like, show how nice I was, right? But it's one of those, like, eventually you start to realize that, wait a second, like, this is actually helping charities. Like, I am pretty charitable and I am getting a lot of benefit from it, but so are a lot of other people. So guess what? Maybe I am generous. Maybe I am doing this to do good as well as do well. And when the inflection point hits is when, like, you don't care how many referrals you get at the event, you look at the charity table first, right? And that became more of the goal as life went on, and that's when it was like, okay, like I'm doing this for the right reasons, and it's working. Some people come to us and they're doing the events for the referrals. That's okay. That's fantastic. But like there will be a time when you go from success to significance with your attitudes and your goals. And what happens is all of a sudden that charity arm starts to loom larger and you make a bigger impact in your community.
Well,
So,
it was
and you
also
still get referrals and you get more referrals.
right. It was also a bit of a change for me because being older and not having kids, you kind of think about, well, what am I even working for? You know, what legacy do I need to give, or what do I really need to leave? And I think that kind of put in that little piece that answered that question.
Yeah. I love that. And it's interesting because Max never saw any of that. Right. So he's only seen it from our RMS stuff, but he doesn't even go to those. He's always been too young. But yeah, that's an important piece is they also see the charitable side of it and start their own piece of that and start their own way of thinking around that. So love that. Will Craddock. And then Carly, you're next.
You said our favorite strategy is what you said. Is that what the question was?
From 7L. Yeah.
I will have to say that in the beginning, I wouldn't have said this, but now I'll say PowerNotes. I think I sent 10 or 12 of them last week. And I think I ended the week with almost 20 referrals, not from any of the people I sent a PowerNote to. But yeah, you put a lot of good out, you get a lot of good back.
That's the truth, right? That's the truth. Yeah, I'm a real fan. I mean, I continue to write power notes to this day, and I enjoy the heck out of it. So I'm with you guys. I just got some new ones, by the way. No, well, when I say just got them, I would say like Saturday. So, but they're Lighthouse. They're Thomas Kincaid. You guys see this? I freaking love these. So the Lighthouse of Light, right, by Thomas Kincaid. Can you guys see that?
Yeah,
So.
beautiful.
What's really cool is when you love the card, so you send more of them, right? So that's what I had to do with a coaching client of mine a long time ago. Is he couldn't think of anything that was a symbolic thing for him and Hilton Head. He's out of Hilton Head, South Carolina, and I was just like, well, tell me about this. And he's really strong into family, and I go, well, what if like your daughters drew a picture of what Hilton Head life is kind of like? And so they drew pictures. Well, his two daughters, obviously super talented in art, they both drew amazing pieces of art. And I was like, yeah, put these on the front of your cards. Well, they were so popular that they started selling the cards. They literally were selling the card that his two daughters had because there was such a demand for one of them was like the Hilton Head bird, whatever it is, the city's bird, and it's something that was in Hilton Head a lot. And then another one was a type of flower, and they were drawn, and it was just I mean, do you think this guy wrote more handwritten notes when it was his daughter's art? Right? I mean, 100%. So it's I mean that whole handwritten note mastery stuff, powerful. Might be part of my legacy, just like it's a lot of research into that. A lot of things from a lot of different avenues. Speaking of awesome, Carla,
I didn't think you were going to choose me next after that intro. Um, Gosh, I have so
you did
many.
too. You knew it was good. You had your green off. Like you were already like your mute was already off. You knew it was coming.
Um, it's really hard for me to choose just one, and I don't say that, I mean, truly it is. I'm going to give you two because I can't do just one. The first one is connecting with connectors because that's
Okay.
where I got all my success. That's how I met you. It was how
Yep.
I went from nothing to everything. And then the second one is the 30-second one, with one exception. That one I think so many people overlook. And it took me like 10 years to find that one in the book. Like for real, I might be a slow learner, but I just found that one like 3 years
It's in
ago.
chapter 1,
I
Carla.
know,
It's
but
in
there's
Lunch of a Lifetime.
There's so much in chapter one. I just skimmed
There
over
is so
that
much in
every
chapter one.
time.
There is. I agree.
It was, and I found that one a couple of years ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it just changes every conversation.
Yeah. So familiarize everybody with the with one exception reply to how's the market or how's business, right?
Okay. Now I
So
have
how's business, Carla?
business is actually fantastic with one exception.
What's the exception?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So I have this beautiful strategy that is building a business by referrals, and you get to go into whatever it is. I'm looking for a plumber.
There it
I
is.
have a client who needs a plumber. I need a great plumber.
Yep.
Or I'm looking for, my buyer needs a house in this neighborhood. And I'm struggling to find a home for them to
Love it.
purchase in this neighborhood.
Love
And
it. People are going to ask us how's business. They're going to ask us how's the market. Why don't we boomerang it to like a conversation that we want, right? So it's like, they say how's the market? How just like Carla just said, how's business? Business is fantastic. Business is great with one exception. And they answer like, what's the exception? Well, here's the deal. We have a listing in your neighborhood and it sold in 2 days. And guess what? We had a bunch of showings and a bunch of buyers who wanted to buy in the neighborhood, but didn't. Like, is there anybody else in the neighborhood that wants to sell? Like, do you want to sell? Like, is this something that? How can we solve this? Right? So you literally can use it for anything. And as you get great with the one exception reply or script, what happens is you tailor make it to the person who's talking to you. You literally know enough about them to where they can help. And then they help you and they refer you. And all of a sudden now you're in the quasi referral system and now you're following up and now you've got all these reasons for communication and appreciation and you run with it because you got momentum and opportunity. So
one of the
with one
other
exception, 3 words. Three
one
words
of the
leads to gold.
sorry, one of the
Mhm.
other things too is you always talk about the referral goal. This is a great place to tell someone your referral goal.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. With one exception. What is it? Well, my weekly referral goal is to give 10 referrals and receive 5 referrals. I've only given 5 referrals this week so far. I'd love to give another one. Who do you know that needs some help? All right. Powerful. There's that book, 3 Feet from Gold. I should write a mini book called 3 Words from Gold, right? With one exception would be those 3 words because it really is gold. Sherry Wesley.
I've used when I'm looking for like an accountant or a contract or whatever, how would you rate them?
Mm-hmm.
And that's been amazing because
Yeah, the triangle of trust conversation. Go ahead, Sherry. Sorry.
I've done the whole, how would you rate them on a scale of 1 to 10? And they'll say, well, they're an 8. And I'll say, well, what would make them a 10? What's going on there? Why aren't they a 10? And they tell me why. And I say, well, I'm calling around for a 10. If I find that 10, would you be interested? Everyone always says yes.
Isn't that powerful? Because
It
they've
is.
already got one, right? They've already got that. Those are the best. Like they got a CPA, but the CPA is an 8. Well, they already have hired a CPA, so they're mobile. The ones that are tough are the ones where it's like I don't have a CPA. Well, I'm calling around looking for 10 out of 10 CPAs. Do you want me to maybe connect you to a CPA if I feel like it's a good fit? And they're like, no, I'm going to do it myself. And it's like, okay, no sweat. When you're looking for a CPA, just know I have this referral network of 10 out of 10s, right? And you just rock and roll. You got a financial planner. You got an insurance agent. Everybody's got insurance agent. You want to really have success with the triangle of trust? Go down the insurance agent path because everybody's got one. Allison, what's your favorite?
I don't have a favorite yet. I'm still learning.
That's my favorite. Each one teach one.
You definitely have taught that very well to people because I have been absolutely blown away by the generosity of the members of this group being willing to help me. I'm gonna cry when I'm really struggling in my business. And everyone's been really great. So thank you for building this.
Well, I've had a lot of help. And like, it takes a village. It really does. I mean, what we've discovered is that you can win with generosity. And in fact, the best way to win, and the one of the best ways to win is with generosity right now. People are attracted to generosity. So, and then, you know, Allison, you got a great last name for real estate. Like, I mean, who can sell this home? And you put CANN in the who can sell this home, and then it's Allison can, right? And then it's who can help these buyers? Allison can. Who can help these developers? Allison can, right? I mean, you got who, you literally everything can be Allison can. And then you could do something with did, right? Like Allison can, Allison did. Boom. Drop the mic.
You're actually the first person who's ever given me the idea to use it as can, like in a sentence like that. Like it's always,
Really?
yeah.
Got to do it.
Okay.
Do you have AllisonCan.com?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Like you're going to misspell can for the rest of your life,
Okay.
right? Just don't kick the can, right?
Yeah.
You
My
guys
whole
probably
life.
don't even know what kick the can is. I directly aged myself in like one. Matthew, you remember kick the can?
Yeah, I know kick the can.
Putting it underneath the light, right? Putting it underneath the street light, hide and go seek. Like whoever can kick the can without getting tagged, baby. Yep. I literally killed myself 100 times playing that game. Like I remember running around the corner of a house and they had put out wood and I just flat hit the wood with the lower half and got flipped all the way over. And like I mean, because it was dark, right? I mean, it's hide and go seek. And you know, the guy guarding, right? The can guard, right? They have to venture away from the can eventually to try to tag somebody. So it was a great thing for athletes. Just saying. Very dangerous game now that I think about it. You're kicking a can on concrete. What could go wrong? So,
I don't think you were supposed to slide into the can. I think you were just supposed to kick it.
whatever it takes, Allison. It should not be the can guard. Like you don't want to be the one that has to like the it one, right? It's like you're
No.
it. Just because it's a hard game. Like they want the
No, if
can,
you're
you know.
playing it right, it's definitely hard.
So, Diana Hanna, what's your favorite? What's your favorite strategy from 7-0? Clarissa, you're next.
Okay. Well, I'm still learning too. I haven't read the book fully from cover to cover. But I do like the time blocking and preparing the night before. I found myself getting into bad habits. Sometimes falling asleep on the sofa, and then trying to just have better habits before I go to bed, which sets me up better in the morning. So, and
Yeah,
time blocking, I was doing the things, but they were random, you know? So I'm finding I've still got work to do on that, but that's definitely going to be good for me.
yeah, I love it. I love it. Diane, are you in RMA? Are you in Referral Mastery Academy?
No, I just clicked on the link today for the first time.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Which was
So
sent to
would
me
love
by
to.
my broker,
Very cool. Who's your broker?
Karen Wilkins.
Karen Wilkins is your broker?
Yeah.
The
Do you know her?
Wilkins Way?
The Wilkins Way. Yes.
You're part of the Wilkins Way? How cool is
Yes.
that?
I love it. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
very cool. I did
Thank
see
you.
some of your teammates did go to 7lmastery.com and they got in. So you might want to look at that.
Yes,
So
actually, I intend to register for the month of July.
yes, 7lmastery.com.
Absolutely.
That's the one you want. So
Thank you so
everybody,
much.
if you're not in RMA, I think there may be 2 or 3 of you. There's not a ton of you that are not in RMA. We have a special where you're not only going to get into RMA, you're going to get 7 levels mastery and read the book in July. So it's like a book club on steroids. And the way to get it is 7lmastery.com. And instead of it being $99, it's like $29, I think. It might be 49. It might be 19. I don't know how much it is, but it's not 99. And so you get it for July, and you're going to get 7 levels mastery. And for those of you that are overachievers, you can do 7 levels mastery and the Summerfest challenge. If you're new to all this, I would not suggest doing both. I would just do 7 levels mastery. Also, very interestingly and awesomely, you are going to get Tommy and Carla as your leaders of 7 levels mastery this July. So a really, really good opportunity. A couple of our top coaches and people that have implemented a lot of strategies in the book and bring a different perspective and awesome energy to the classes as well. Rob Howard.
I wanted to tell Diane, it was a year probably in the distance, but that's the way I got into RMA was, and Tommy was telling me the other day that he was looking at an old book club where you were doing the book club, and that was our first like face to face and group experience, and just doing the book club. And I'm assuming it's the same as the way that the 7L Mastery will be. It just brought the whole thing to life, and it just turned it into something that it made RMA indispensable. In retrospect, of course, I was in a team at that point, and I got into other coaching, and that pulled me away from actually doing RMA. But afterwards, I joined, and so happy. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you for that. Yes, I'm looking forward to the consistency and accountability of it.
Yeah. I love how it's like a buffet, right? So you're going to cover 70 to 80 of the strategies, and then you don't have to eat them all, right? You just pick, like time blocking. You pick the evening ritual or the nightly ritual. You get to pick as you go through and kind of eat your favorites, right? Figure out which ones are the ones that are best, and just like try those out and see how it feels. I think the one thing that I love the best about all this is none of them are going to make you feel awkward. Like all the strategies are about making others feel awesome. And when I make others feel awesome, I feel awesome by making them feel awesome. And then I want to do more of it. I want to feel awesome more. Dopamine kick. The best dopamine kick in the world is making other people feel awesome, you know? So keep doing that. I'll have to thank Karen for sending you our way. Alicia Knox is in the house. Alicia, are you fully with us or are you driving today?
I just parked.
I know you drive a lot sometimes when you're on our Zooms, and I
Yes,
appreciate that. You're doing whatever
yes,
it takes to get on. What's your
yes.
favorite strategy from 7L?
What I love best is definitely what you say for is about generosity for us because I realize that's my authentic self
Mhm.
and serving. I love to serve and I'm just in that generosity thing of giving love first. That's what I give first
Yep.
in everything I do. I give love first. I don't talk about my business. I'm always concerned about the person and getting to know them. A person I talked to yesterday came back to me and say, "I remember you. I had gave this person. Sometime I give out these $2 bills, and a lady like, I remember you. I got a $2 bill." And she's like, and I still have that $2 bill. I'm like, awesome. And they asked me about being on this committee for the Women Council here in Atlanta. And I'm like, oh my goodness, or whatever. But so it's just like, just being generosity, just, being a giver first.
Yep. Yep. And that's what I love. We attract givers, generous givers.
Right.
And what I've really discovered through jam sessions and the RMA only masterminds is really teaching people how to be appreciative receivers as well as generous givers. Like you
Right.
accepting that post is being an appreciative receiver. You were given an opportunity to network at
Mhm.
the highest level, and it's like, say yes. Like when that opportunity comes to you, like we need to be ready to capture it. And don't just be a generous giver, because what happens is when you're a generous giver all the time, you just become a sacrificial lamb. You're helping others, you're giving others, and you become exhausted because you're giving all the time. Whereas when a giver receives, they're given energy, right? I mean, when you were asked to be on that panel or on that committee, it's like it's an energy juice, right? It's an energy boost, and you're like, yeah, let's go, right? All this generosity is being reciprocated.
Absolutely. That's what I feel. And
Love it.
I've learned a lot from you over the years. I've been on and off, but I have my 7L book, and I'm looking forward to the July, redoing it and redoing it and redoing it because I'm learning something different every time I come back to it. So
I love it.
thanks for keep inviting me and keep
Abs-
inviting me.
You're always invited, and welcome back and welcome
Thank,
home. So
thank you
we're
very much.
always going to be here, and we're always going to be ready, and we're always going to be teaching love, generosity, and appreciation. So
Well, thank you very much. You've been doing that for a long time, and I really received that love a whole lot during the COVID time. Those were some best times being with you and learned a lot from you. I manifested a lot of things from that vision board you and Sherry told us about during that time, and that's why I keep coming back, even though I may take a little solid trip sometimes, but I still come back. This is a home place for
yep,
me. So thank you.
that's right. Welcome. Love to have you.
All righty.
Get comfortable, but not too comfortable because you got to drive. So good stuff. Rodney Schimmel, what's up, buddy?
Not much. Just working hard. How you been?
I'm doing great. What's your favorite strategy from 7L?
I like the one-on-one networking stuff and having your
Mm-hmm.
home base. I think that's worked out well for me. So that's been a good one where, I take them to my home base and everybody knows me there and it really shows a lot. So,
Tell me about your home court advantage or your home base.
well, it's a nice little lunch place that I take them to, and it's not a bar food. But it's good food, but it's not super expensive, and it's a comfortable place to sit, and you can actually have conversations. And
Well,
I got to
do you
get
have a
to know.
corner? You have a corner or a room?
Yeah, I have a certain table that I go to every single
Yeah,
time. Yep, yep.
love it.
So we
Same
have
same server.
same server, a little more privacy. Yep,
Yep,
and
I love it.
it's a great experience. People love it, and like I said, you do the back to back too. So when they're leaving, you got somebody else walking in. It
Yeah, I
shows that
love
you
it.
have professionalism, and I think it shows you have people like you. So it's
That's
a good
right.
tool.
Like plus like equals two loves, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I love the whole thought of it, especially nowadays because the ABC of always be connecting is even more powerful, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to close people if you're connecting people. You don't have
Yeah.
to. They close themselves. So, you don't have to close a referral. Like it's like converting internet leads. There's all these classes for converting internet leads, and it's like, there's nobody that teaches converting referrals. Why
Nope.
not? You don't have to convert referrals.
Yep.
They're converted. I love it. Love it. Um, Love that. And Allison, very, very, very familiar with Adam Grant's Give and Take. Very familiar. Like very familiar with not only the book, but all of the research that went into the book. And one of the I mean, literally, you triggered it off, give generously and receive appreciatively, right? Is you know a quick summary, everybody, is he did research on a lot of different professions, but sales professionals were one of the most interesting. And he was trying to discover, like, there's givers, matchers, and takers. who are the best salespeople? Are the takers the best salespeople? The matchers who, like, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, or were the givers the best uh, salespeople? And what was amazing is that in the book, like, who do you think the worst salespeople were? Givers, matchers, or takers? Who do you guys think?
Takers.
Takers.
Yeah, we all assume it's the takers, but it wasn't. It was the givers. So there were like the bottom 5% of all salespeople were the givers, right? And then like there's a layer above that were the takers. And like takers really filled the bottom like 75% of these sales professionals. And then the layer above that, which is pretty intuitional, is the matchers. The matchers did really well. They were the bell curve. Like if you look at the bell curve, like the middle of the bell curve were these matchers. Basic and you guys know in a lot of places, like especially politics, I mean, he just like Trump just implemented this, right? Is we have this bill for housing and affordable housing that's passed the housing in the Senate, and he was going to sign it. Well, he said, well, I'm not going to sign this until you approve this other bill, right? And so like there's a lot of that goes on in the world. Well, what he discovered is, yeah, matchers did really well. Like you can be in the top 20% if you're a matcher. But then Grant discovers that there are actually givers at the very top of this bell curve as well. So the worst salespeople in the world were givers, and the best salespeople in the world were givers. And then he was like, okay, that's crazy. Like, why don't they all fit into one neat package? Well, the givers at the bottom were the sacrificial lambs. They just gave and gave and gave, and they literally could be given an opportunity and they would say, oh, no, thank you, right? The givers at the top of the pyramid were the ones he called the roaring lions. And the roaring lions were appreciative receivers. Like when the opportunity came, they were ready to take that momentum and seize the opportunity and said yes and turned those little opportunities into really, really big opportunities. Very, very good book, by the way, Give and Take. And honestly, what it is, it's proof of the entire referral mastery system. Like it literally validates and verifies everything we teach. You want to read another one? To Human is Sell, To Sell as Human, excuse me, by Daniel Pink, another guy who is a researcher, college, and like To Sell as Human. And he's got all the research behind it, and it talks about like the human approach to sales is the best approach to sales. So, yeah, yeah. I say even in today's world, Joey, that nice guys and gals finish first. I literally talked about that on Christine Pandolf's podcast is like we're finishing first. Like the whole like nice guys finish last thing, like it doesn't even apply anymore. Like that was definitely something in the 60s, 70s, and 80s with Mad Men and Boiler Room and Wolf on Wall Street and Glengarry Glen Ross and all that stuff. But in today's world, like the rude ones are being like they're being disclosed. They're being put in their place. Look at Twitter, look at Facebook. When somebody messes up, when an airline doesn't serve well, what happens? It blows up, right? Did you guys see the one where the airline broke the guy's guitar and then wasn't going to pay to have it replaced? Like, man, it blew up, right? So, good stuff. We are overtime. We are good. You guys good? All right. So 7lmastery.com. It's 19 bucks for July. Get into it. You don't just get into RMA. You actually get 7 Levels Mastery, the mastery class with Carla and Tommy and myself. You also get Summerfest for those of you that are overachievers. So really, really good opportunity. It's an introductory rate. We do not do that very often, but we would love to have you involved. For those of you that are new, we appreciate you. So anybody, what's your biggest aha? Give me 3 ahas and let's be done by 2:15. Quickly. Somebody give me an aha from today. Joey Calvin.
Power is an acronym.
Power is an acronym. That's right. For
It's
the
now on my
PowerNotes.
whiteboard.
That's 1. We need 2 more. Quickly. Lynn Faselli.
Refreshing some of the strategies like the first and 10. So I'm in a different place in my life. Like I'm not really retired yet, but I don't want to run as fast as I can anymore either. And I have
Yeah,
kind
you
of
don't want to pull a hamstring sprinting anymore, right?
I don't want to be hurt doing anything anymore.
That's right. Gentle jog. Gentle jog.
Yes.
We're going to continue on a gentle jog. Yep.
Yes. And so, but I think that is something that I need to start to implement again, just because I am going back to the generosity thing. There are agents that have been here their entire life and have sold 0 or 2 houses here. And I mean, again, I don't want to run as fast as I can, but I've sold 6.
Yeah, your gentle jog is passing those who are standing still,
Yes.
right? It's a
And
marathon,
it
not
is
a
from,
sprint.
yep, it is all about generosity and giving first. And so that first and 10, those calls is something I keep telling myself I need to do. And that's going to
There you
be
go.
my thing.
I love it. Love it. Do it with, and do 5 for tomorrow and do it with your send later in your iPhone. Just like, hey, do you have a couple minutes? And just copy it and then paste it to 5 people for tomorrow and see if it works.
I will do
Right?
that. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Clarissa, did I miss you earlier, Clarissa?
You did, but no worries.
Okay.
So in the 7 levels, it's like you said, it's like a buffet. And you're not going to go, hopefully, you're not going to go to a buffet and eat everything that they have out. It's just so much in 7 levels throughout that story. And you just have to pick and choose which one is best for you. Take it slow. Take it slow. Pick and choose which one's best for you.
What was your best or favorite? What's your favorite? What's the one that's worked the best for you?
Okay, so I've read the book before, and I've been in one of your classes. Tara Carter was my coach, and you did some things for us here in Fort Lauderdale, and got away from it and took the bold session and was reconnected through maps because your networking and your events was offered through maps. So I'm like,
That's
you know what? This calling expired and FISBO's not working for me. Just not going to do it. Not going to do it. So why fight it? And decided to register for the classes. So I'm telling you, it's probably the best decision I've done this summer, because I found that doing events and networking is what I love to do. I'm a former educator. This is what I love to do. And
I've got this twice.
I just, and you ask what has stuck out to me as I'm going through the book again. I just went over the 4 enriching rituals. And I think that's a big one for me, because I need to get that balance back in my life. Being a great grandmother, taking care of a 4-year-old, and taking care of my husband who's 70 with, ills, different things going on. I just need to find that ritual balance, and I really loved the 4 enriching rituals. So I'm starting off with that, but I want to be a beast with the PowerNotes. I think the PowerNotes is really going to be one of my strong suits. So once I get
underrated.
I think so.
Yeah. It's passive assertive. That's what a handwritten note is. You can do it anytime you want. You can do it part of your nightly ritual at 11 o'clock, and you're not offending anybody. You're not bothering anybody. And then when they get it 3 days later, it's awesome for everyone, especially with the PS. So I love that. And, I'm glad to see the marketing system worked on you, Clara. So I'm just telling you, I'm glad to see that the funnel filter focus worked with the part of the KW environment. So
it actually did. But a lot of people missed it. And I got it through getting my free t-shirt from Bold. So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm happy I
That's
found it.
awesome.
I'm happy
Yeah.
I'll be connected with you.
Yeah. Well, we're happy to have you as well. So that's a good thing. You're a great ambassador for us too, and I know you've told other people about us, and
Yeah.
I appreciate that more than you probably know. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all of you. If you're newer and this sounds like something you want to do, you want to build your business on love, generosity, and appreciation, go to 7lmastery.com, get signed up, and then make sure that you are signed up for 7 Levels Mastery. It's a book club on steroids. Yeah, the book is going to be the centerpiece and be the topic of conversation, but it is a coaching and master class as well, where you're going to be able to choose 3 or 4 strategies and put them into place with a net in place where Tommy and Carla are going to catch you and just say, all right, good job. Let's tweak it a little bit for the next one, and you're going to have even more success. Many of you will get referrals in 7 Levels Mastery. I'm not going to promise that you'll get a referral, but I'm going to say that, like, listen, you implement the strategies, your likelihood of getting referrals is going to go up 99%. So anyway, I appreciate all of you. Thanks for showing up for the jam session today, and I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome day. For those of you in Event Mastery, I'll see you tomorrow at the Event Masters Mastermind, and let's keep rocking and rolling with sponsors. So thank you, everybody. Have a great one.